Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. John, myself, Fox, here on the show this evening. It's Rangers Radio, very own Jim White. How we doing, Albert?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. You're a big fan of this time of the year, the transfer window, mate?
Oh, I absolutely love it, mate. I live for this. No,
Go on, give people your opinion.
I just think it's a complete and utter waste of time. It's just speculation, all those stupid rumours, and it keeps you sitting there thinking, "No, you're saying no, you're not saying. You're saying it restricts you due to all this time of year. It's silly, mate. It's just stupid." I like to always sign a player any time of the year, anytime, because if you're in trouble, you could get yourself out. We get into the transfer market. But this is just geared up. It's just geared up for the Premiership, so I can see, mate. It's just geared up for one Sky Sports to have their wee show and nonsense, mate. It doesn't do any other teams any good. I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Right, mate. I actually agree with you. I actually think that it's strange that a business would be restricted to when they can sell their assets, mate. That's just my take on it, mate. Purely in economics, yeah.
Exactly, mate. You might need to cash in for whatever reason. And the most recent one is Inverness Cali. I mean, they might have wanted to sell a couple of players to keep themselves solvent, but you can't. You got to wait to these silly windies. It's a waste of time, mate. In my opinion, a complete utter waste of time. I know some people love it. I just look at it and go, it's nonsense, just nonsense. Anyway, it's 95 or 99.9% speculation and crap talking, and you get 1% of. Or 0.1% actual fact in reality.
Sounds like one of your fools, Albert.
That's it, mate. That's it. As we keep saying, it's just opinions, mate.
Yes, of course, mate. Anyway, it was very rude of me. How are you?
Me, I'm fantastic, mate. I was actually out all day today. First time I've been out all day for years. Usually only out a couple of hours at a time, but I was out the whole day today.
All right. And you managed to go home safe and sound?
Well, I get home, my hands and knees, because I was knackered. I was knackered, but I go home, mate.
Good man, good man. And where do you see us in? And I'll take the outs first. Right. The people who go at the club, are you seeing that as a positive, negative, or are you neutral with it?
People's left the club?
Yes.
Positive, mate. Huge positive.
Can you explain?
Has to be done. Well, the last time I was going on about. We asked for this got out of the playing staff, the backroom staff, and you got to give Bennett some credit for that. He is getting on with that. I don't know if he's totally controlling it, but he's definitely getting on with it. The wages had to get down. We all know that. There's no getting around this. We had to bring the wage bill down. So that's a big, huge part going forward. We also have to bring players in. Again, you can't get players in to get players out. So that's a big, huge part, getting them out. That's another positive for it. Some of them were way overpaid for too little return. Some of them were just injured all the time. Some of them were too old. Some of them were past their best. Some of them are just no good enough. All these things, all these categories all come into play. So most of the players that's left fit in one of these categories or sometimes two of the categories. They had to go. So it's a positive for me, mate. It frees up spaces within the squad and allows the team to grow as a team. And you start hopefully developing these players and getting better transfer in market, value in the market for them. So I think it's a huge positive. What about yourself?
Well, listen, I think people aren't interested in people's wages if you're doing the business on the park. Yeah, within reason, you know what I mean? It's all relevant. If you're the highest earner at the club and you're consistent, if you go back to, say, Gaza and Loudrop and all that, the players that you tell me about, if they were the highest earners at the club and people they're doing the business on the park, nobody cares. But a lot of the trouble we've had is we've had high earners who haven't even been on the park all there.
I mean, you're right. Gascoigne and Loudon, for example, good examples. No, I mean, you see, the money they were getting, you could actually see why they're getting paid it. Because as you pointed out, they're doing it on the park. It's as simple as that. And I know it sounds ridiculously simplistic, but it's a fact, mate. It is a fact. So you can see what they're doing. We're paying the equivalent of what we're paying them now for people like Roof. You didn't see him. Jack, always injured. Barisic, always wanting to be injured, never wanted to be in really get in the team. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So you're sitting looking and going like, no, you're right. If they'd done it on the park, you would go, oh, well, no care. But the fair play is always going to be there. So it's okay you're saying we're not going to bother, but we still had to fall in with the fair play that bracket. So we had to still operate in that bracket. We were close to the edges, mate.
If some of them were doing it on the park, you wouldn't have assigned other players to cover them. And you don't need the numbers that we ended up with, because in my opinion, the squad ended up bloated, mate.
And that's exactly right, mate. And you know yourself, I mean, there's teams up in the country with bigger budgets than us. They're struggling, Man U, Chelsea. All these teams have got big, huge budgets, but big bloated squads. And they're no actual teams, you know what I mean? They're not building a team, they're just getting a collection of players, hundreds of players, and they do what they do. They get a huge TV deal, so they can afford to do it. We can't. We've got to box clever, mate, and that's the problem. We've no been boxing clever. We're getting substandard players, injured players, people that are faults in their character, and we think we're going to straighten them out and make them players and things like that. It's a shambles, mate. It's a total and utter shambles. And this bloated squad will go. You look at it and say to yourself, okay, it's not just about money. They're just simply no good enough. A lot of the players are just no good enough.
I don't know if the squad's particularly bloated at this moment, but what I'm talking about has been, if that makes sense a bit.
Yeah, it started at the window. It definitely was, mate. It definitely was. Then we go to the window, a lot of 8 players out of contract, which means the club is completely out of control of that situation, completely out of control. So you're looking at 8 players walking away for practically zero, mate. Practically zero. That's criminal. That is criminal. And you're looking at other players sitting there with huge contracts like Tav. Here to Tav, I'm not getting it, Tav, but he's finished. He's done. The boy's done. But he's sitting here with another 2 year contract. It's a bumper contract. You were looking at Golson, the same thing. He's away. Lundstrom want to finish his career here. You're saying, I bet you do, because you're crap. You're done and all. So they sort of things, Jack, done. You know what I mean? He would have stayed for more. I mean, if you offered Jack another year, 2 years, he'd have jumped at that. And they weren't any hurry. Any of these players, they were good on their day, I suppose. Depends your taste, right enough. But not good enough, mate. They're done. They're finished. They need to move, and we had to do what we had to do. I mean, that Niels Cotton come in, and he couldn't. I'm led to believe he couldn't believe the size of Rangers' wage bill. He just could not believe it. By all accounts, it's a way beyond certain other teams all over Europe. And for what you're getting, it's ridiculous, mate. It was absolutely ridiculous.
No, and as I say, we've got other players signed because other players weren't on the pitch, and you end up in that spiral, man. And then you end up with maybe 3 players for one position when you only need 2 in reality, You know, and then 2 of them you're paying for not being on the pitch, and it just gets out of control. Except you need a squad all there, you know. But we did suffer with guys not being on the pitch, and it looks as if potentially we could have another one. I mean, they hurt with the boy, but young boy Ridvan, he's the hamstring now, he's his latest injury, you know. So this is him moving into his 3rd season. He's must not been out for about 18 months.
Oh, definitely. A good example again. It's just one of the things. You look at it and say, is it one of these things? You look at, I mean, we've spoken about this as well. It all ties into, everything ties in together, doesn't it? You're looking at the background staff, I mean, all levels. They're there to keep that fit, that team, that squad of players fit and ready and available for the manager to select if required. But they're not. So they're not doing their job. The players are not doing their job. It's a recipe for disaster, mate. It really is. And it's proved to be a disaster time and time again. I mean, Bennett says about other things, we're not going to rinse, or changing the man, we're not going to rinse and repeat. That doesn't work. That's a fact, and he's right about that. But it doesn't work that these players are sitting and we're going to sign other players that have got a history of injuries. This has all got to stop, mate. It's got to be looked at professionally and properly.
Sometimes you've got to walk away from a deal, mate.
Absolutely, mate. You're not going to get every deal over the line. You're not going to get every player you want. That's a fact. As
the late, great Kenny says, you've got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, mate.
Exactly, mate. And don't count your money, you're sitting at the table, I
know. And that takes cojones when you fancy the player, but to walk away, what's good for the club. And that's the trouble sometimes when you're letting managers get too involved in their decisions. And I'm not having a go at Beale, because I think that is a criticism the board maybe they deserve to get that they gave him carte blanche, because the two things don't join up. Managers will just keep signing players. There'll always be one player through it, wouldn't they?
Aye, well, for Beale's case, he wanted to do it all. He thought he could do it. That shows the naivety of the bloke. No, I mean, he's out his depth. He was out his depth. I'm not getting away from that. But he thought, I could do it all. I could do the director of football, the manager's job, the coaching job, the training job, everything. I could do scout the players, go and talk to the players, everything. I can do it all. You can't, mate. It's impossible. It's got to be a combined teamwork behind the scenes at the management level for the football side of things. And he just, and to be fair to him, when he gets a bad rep, and he's deserved bad rep because he had never a clue what he's doing. But some of the players he brought in weren't all duds, mate. I listen to everybody talking about his players, and he done a percentage of duds. There's no doubt about that. But they weren't all duds. So I'm looking at him going like
Scotland,
Danilo.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, Danilo's still to prove himself. I mean, so the one they Cantwell and Raskin he brought in as well. So you sit and look at them. Okay, Cantwell turned. It's not a football problem with Cantwell. He's just an idiot. He couldn't keep his mouth shut. So he's now run out of Scotland red-faced because he's done a lot of talking after the part and couldn't back it up. With Raskin's another injury problem with him. He might be one of the ones, but so you can't slaughter Beale for all his signings were rubbish. They weren't. That's not true. His football management was rubbish. I'll give you that. That definitely was true. But there you go. In fact, he might have even gave us a base for a squad going forward for now.
Maybe. And what about the ins, mate? I mean, obviously, we've not been inundated with them, but Jeffries come in, the Cherny's come in on loan, John Barron's come in, their Propers come in, who we've not seen that much. So what are you making of them collectively and individually, mate?
Well, individually, I like them. I do like them. I like their attitude. I really do like their attitude. It's a freshness, it's a hunger, it's a desire. So individually, I'm with them. Collectively, well, they've still got to develop into a team, and let's not kid ourselves on. We're making steady progress at that, maybe 3 steps at a time, but we're getting there. You can see it starting to come together. But I believe in these players. I believe that they're going to be better than what we had, which, to be fair, isn't a high bar. Let's be honest about that. It's not a high bar to beat, but I think they're going to be a lot better than the players we had. And time will tell that, man. Time will tell. But I do like them. I don't know how you feel, but I do like them.
Well, the boy Jeff, they came in, mate, and I thought, my initial thoughts were, yeah. And that's the pre-season game. And then slowly but surely, it's really grown on me. Now, We might be speaking on Monday night, Albert, and I might give you a different opinion, but at this moment, he's really grown on me. Does he look if he's a defensive player? No, really. He's all about getting forward. He's all action, pace, attitude, and what I've seen is refreshing. Young Bannon, neat, tidy, and works hard, makes the game simple, and is a real team player, proper, not seen enough to judge. And Tierney, I think, I agree with Southside last night, a real intelligent football player. I don't think he's going to get a ball at halfway line, beat 4 players, run away from you and batter it in the net. But what he might do is get a ball at halfway line, look up and make a perfect pass, Albert.
He can pick a pass. He can see a pass. He can see a pass, mate. And he can execute it as well. 2 or 3 he's actually done so far. They were superb. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but us Rangers fans have been starved of that type of quality for years and years now, mate. I mean, you actually see it again. You start reminiscing about players who could do it. And I'm not saying he's as good as these players, but Ray Wilkins, Mendes, Tugai, Barry Ferguson, all these players who could actually see make the passes that he's making. It's actually, you're like, oh, thank God, we've actually got somebody that can make a pass, see the pass and make it. That's a breath of fresh air. But with you, I don't think he's going to be a dynamic winger that's going to beat 5 players. Now, we know he can hit a ball because we've seen it against Motherwell. He scored a beautiful goal against Motherwell. He can hit a ball. And he's got something about him as well. He's got this wee sort of evil streak about him, and I like that as well.
Aye, but I don't know how good he's going to be. However, it's early days, same with Proper. Obviously, same with Barron and Jeffrey. We're only talking about initial thoughts, mate.
They've got to develop into some sort of team. No, I mean, it's just... But I like what I'm seeing so far. I definitely do like what I see so far. I know a lot of people might not see it that way, but that's the way I see it. And I'm trying to be positive with these players because they're here to do a job. We want to back them. It's as simple as that. Because nobody else is going to back them. The Rangers supporters don't back them, let's be honest. Well, we've plenty of enemies in Scotland and all about the place, so we've got to get behind them. And I think, honestly, they'll come good and they'll develop into a good team, depending. And going forward, it depends if we get to sign them before the window shuts. No, it's another conversation, I suppose.
Aye, we'll come in that. We'll come in that, and obviously we'll keep an eye on if there's anything breaking tonight. There's still the speculations growing, and growing and growing and growing. Conor Bannon, yeah. I think that the supporters took to him quite quickly. We've really liked him on the pitch. We've actually enjoyed him off the pitch, yeah. His honesty and his, I'll use the word integrity, Albert, is that fair?
Integrity, intelligence, mate, right?
Intelligence, I bet like myself. Not.
I'm the same, mate.
I was out a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday and there was 3 sitting, there was a bread between us.
Looking at each other. Has anybody got a sensible thought?
Just for the record, that was me, Albert, and Southside, all right?
But the wee Barn guy, I mean, he comes in, to be fair, he comes from Aberdeen, comes down from Aberdeen, you're looking at him going like, right, okay, here we go. And he's not a big player, he's not going to get the stature that you think in modern day football. So you're thinking to yourself, oh, here we go. Not another midget who can't play football. But lo and behold, attitude right away. You've seen him in raw attitude all about that park. You're like, oh, what's going on here? Does he get a wee bit of football intelligence and a bit of skill to go with this? And enthusiasm and determination. Lo and behold, he has definitely got a bit of football about him. There's football about him. He's not just a running about like a chicken with an head. He's actually got a bit about himself. I like, and he can read a game, mate.
See the chicken with no head, is that the same as a headless chicken?
Aye, but I like to do it the other way, you know what I mean?
All right, just wondering, mate. Just wondering.
Aye. So he's got a bit of he's good at reading a game, mate. I like that. He does read a game well, and you can't fault him for attitude. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The boys in that B team should look at him and say, "That's what we're after. That's the standard you need to get to by just sheer endeavour, sheer will to win, sheer No, I mean his enthusiasm for that. Great wee player. And I like the way he talks in his interviews. He's not getting anything away. He's not saying
do
anything
you like the way he
stupid.
talks? Did you say?
Aye.
Do you think it'd be a good idea if we hear from Conor Bannon and then we open the phone lines?
That would be superb, mate. Superb.
Right, get yourself on mute and let's hear from Conor Bannon.
How we doing, you alright?
How you doing, mate? You alright?
Good, thanks.
What do you think?
Ready?
Conor, just first and foremost, how have you settled in at Rangers so far and how have you found your time here?
Been loving it so far. It's been easy since day one. All the boys have kind of got me into the group quickly. And yeah, all the staff have been welcoming as well around the training ground, right from cleaners, receptionists, all the way through to the canteen staff with the gaffer and the coaching staff as well. So no, it's been made easy by everyone and I'm loving my time so far at the club.
Do you feel that like the last few months have just flown in since you came here?
Yeah, I felt at home straight away. It's been one of them. It doesn't really feel like I've changed. Like I've just settled in very quickly, and I suppose it's a good thing. And yeah, I think you can see from the outside as well. I feel that I've been here a while, and yeah, really enjoying my football at the moment. There's a lot of big characters in there as well. A lot of players who have played at top level, and they all know the game and they're experienced as well. There's also a few young boys who are coming through as well. So it's a very mixed dressing room, but one with a lot of experience and a lot of characters, and yeah, great group of lads.
Was it good that you did know so many players and playing for Scotland, like Leon King, Adam Devine, these various players?
Yeah, I think that did make it easier. I think playing against them as well, you always have a bit of a chat here and there on the pitch, you know, or a battle as well, and I think you get a bit of respect out of players when you're playing against them like that. So yeah, I knew everyone well, and it was almost just getting to know them a little bit better.
And how has the manager been since you came to the club?
Yeah, he's been brilliant with me. Him, all the staff, out in the training pitch, just wanting to make everybody better, make myself better. Same with the analysis team as well. I think it's a real collective, and yeah, no, they've been great with me and want me that continue.
Just on the pitch, do you feel like the team have really hit their stride in recent weeks in terms of performances?
Yeah, I think we're getting better and better as the weeks go on. We're definitely nowhere near where we want to be in that finished article, but I think we're seeing signs of that coming, and definitely positive signs. There's also bits we need to get a bit better at. We all know that. We all analyse the games afterwards. We have our debriefs and we go over things. But that's football. That's what it's for. You learn. And yeah, as I say, we're getting better and better as the weeks go on, and well, hopefully we can keep kicking on. As I said, there's a lot of new faces in the squad as well, but I think everyone's picked it up very quickly. We had a good pre-season under our belt. I know it seems a long while away, but no, we had a good pre-season under our belt and we were into the games, and they come thick and fast, and it's just about us resting, recovering, taking everything on board and bringing it into games.
You've spoken about the new faces here. You're obviously a new face yourself, but do you feel they've added a freshness to the squad?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I'm not sure what it was like before because I wasn't here, but it's a tight-knit group. Everyone's taking to each other well, and as I say, yeah, it's just about us all learning on the job quickly, and so far we've done that, and yeah, hopefully we keep going.
And you've been called into the Scotland under-21 squad once again. 2 big qualifiers coming up. How excited are you for that?
Yeah, no, it'll be good. 21's quite a strong group, a group where there's a lot of boys playing first team football, which is always good. And yeah, we've got a chance to go and qualify to get into the final stages of the Euros. So we've got a tough game against Spain, and then we're away to Malta as well. So yeah, 2 tough games there, and hopefully come out the better side of it.
You spoke on Friday at the press conference about wanting to play for the senior Scotland side. Is it just about maintaining these performances for Rangers and hoping that one day you do get the call? Yeah,
definitely. I mentioned that. I said it's about what I do for Rangers, and my full focus is on Rangers Football Club, and that hopefully comes along when it comes along. For the time being, I'm in the 21 squad, and I love putting on that Scotland jersey as much as I do if it was for the first team or for the 21s, you know. So it's still representing your country, and it's still a nice feeling. And yeah, I look forward to going and competing in them 2 games next week.
And just looking ahead to Sunday, this is your first Old Firm experience. How excited are you, and what have you made of it from the outside?
Yeah, really excited. There's always a lot of talk about the games, but I think it's also important at the same time as a player, you know what you can do, you know what the team can do, and you go out there with that that focus and that drive that if you do your job, then you come out and with a victory. Here's hoping. That's always got to be the aim at this football club, no matter who we're playing against or what team it is, and nothing changes on Sunday. I think if we all stick to the game plan, we stick to what we all know we can do, as I said. And yeah, both sides of the game, defensively we've got to be right at it, we've got to get after them, and when we're on the ball we've got to be composed. And I think you've seen last weekend us taking our chances. That's been something I think we've talked about a lot, is we haven't taken our chances for sort of a few games in the season. We could have been winning by more. So I think it's going to be vital for us to, in front of goal, to be lethal, and hopefully we can bring that on Sunday and get a win.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, he's growing as more and more and more, all better.
Okay, I mean, he talks well, doesn't he, for a boy at 23?
23 today, all better, many happy returns.
Aye, many happy returns to the boy. But he talks really well, mate. His feet are firmly on the ground. He's not going to hurry himself. He's no Billy Big Boots off signed for Rangers. I've made it. He's wanting to improve even further, which is all good. It's all good stuff, mate. I enjoy listening to the boy. I said that. He's no, and they're not going to get a rise at him. They're not going to get anything out of him. He's not going to talk big and I'm this and I'm that and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. All he talks about is I need to improve, I need to get better, listen to the coaches, get your fitness up. It's all good stuff, mate.
Aye. And very impressive young man. And if you think about it, he's all right, a wee bit older than some of the guys we've talked about. Lowry, Devine, and maybe Leon King, etc., and the rest of the boys. And maybe there's a learning curve in there for the next generation. You've got to be playing games of football to improve, mate.
Well, the good thing about it is the boys that are coming through now, if they're looking for guidance, what not to do and what to do, the two players you look at is Cantwell and Barron. Cantwell's what you don't do and how you don't go about your business, and Barron is what you exactly do. And if you do what he's doing, you'll have a superb career. If you do what Cantwell's doing, you'll end up in the same boat he's in. I think he's going to sign for Blackburn, I think. So there you go, mate. That's a good example for all the young boys coming through what to do and what not to do. Because these boys need some sort of guidance. It's there right in front of them.
I get what you mean. Yeah. And obviously you mentioned the game at the weekend. Is he in your starting 11, Albert?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. There's nobody in the squad to take his position off him, put it that way. So, aye, definitely, it's a starter for me.
Arguably, if you were picking the team on form this season, it'd be the first name of the team sheet, if that makes sense.
Aye. Him and Butland. They're the first two right away. Bang, in they go. This squad is just developing, you know what I mean? So, we'll get ahead of ourselves, you know what I mean? It's just settled down. It will come eventually. It will definitely come eventually. But there's a few starting to look like you could be first names that be selected first in the team. You know what I mean? Like Barn and Butland. There's a few others starting to develop, and they're not there yet, but they're heading in the right direction.
Aye. Right, we see down there. Come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Albert, we're going to start slowly moving away and talk about Sunday's game. And I know you may want to take a tablet before we start. But however, if anything breaks transfer-wise, we'll be all in it, mate. Yeah?
Yep, absolutely, mate.
So Sunday's game, listen, it's unusual at this time of the season for us to have a free week before we play them.
Aye, I've not had that for a long time, mate. It's quite unusual. It's very timely as well. I know it's not what we wanted. We want to still be in the Champions League. I know that, but it's worked out the way it's worked out. So in the last two games, this game coming up in last week's game was a week to prepare in both games, which is great. It's great for the fact that we've got a young, inexperienced, and new team. So that worked out well, I suppose.
Aye. And what are you making of Sunday's game, mate?
Sunday's games, I mean, I know everybody's jumping about. You heard all this stupid stuff about if we don't win this, Clement should be sacked. Put that to bed right away. That's just nonsense, mate. That's absolute nonsense. Put it away. We're getting into the game with a new young team, a new young squad of players who need time to settle. We've already said that they need time to settle. So if they go up there and they get any sort of result at all, superb. Absolutely superb. We all want to win the game. There's no going away from that. It never changes. We always want to win the game. But at the end of the day, all the advantages they're getting all the time, by the way, every time we play them, they sit with hundreds of advantages. We're always seem to be behind the 8 ball. But you've got to cut this squad of players, these young boys, put them a wee bit of slack, mate. I'm expecting them to go up there and do a good show, showing themselves. And if they get the victory, or even a draw, but a victory we want, superb. Set you up nicely. Set you up really nicely.
Aye.
But
it's all about momentum, isn't it, sometimes, football?
Aye. And if we don't win the game, I'm not going to float my tree, mate. We don't win the game. It's one of the ones. It's take a breath. You'll be disappointed. I'll be upset, let's say, but I'm not going to throw them under the bus. And I'm definitely not throwing Clement under the bus. I don't think it's fair. So I want to win it. It's like you want to win it. Mm-hmm. We all want to win it. There's no doubt about that. Maybe we want to win the game. And we're going up there with confidence to say, there's a chance. I told you. Everybody's written us off. All the Rangers haters, they're all there, aren't they? They're all lining up to have a go at us. But you're right, Rangers off at your peril, mate. The club is coming back to strength. The club is eventually getting to where it wants to get to, where we were, who we are. I know it doesn't appear like it at the moment, but we're definitely heading in the right direction, mate. So Sunday's game's important. Might have came a wee bit too early for us, but it's important, mate. It's still important to go up there and try and get a win.
Yeah. Right, if you disagree with Albert, give us a phone, 0141 356 1972. I was saying some things about people think there's a fire sale. I've not picked that up myself, mate. You know, Civiente's going out the door. Well, we wanted them out the door, didn't they sit? Lammers, we get ready. Yeah, all right, we never made, well, allegedly we never made much money on them. We made some money on Civiente's, if it all pans out. Yeah, listen, Cantwell might be the strange one. If he goes, there's maybe no fee, a massive fee involved, but I don't know what's written into his contract. And if you've got £3 million off your wage bill and got some money in, well, there's a positive there. Yeah, of course, you could argue it'd be worth being in the transfer market, but circumstances sometimes dictate all better.
And that's exactly it, mate. Circumstances. And you've got to take into consideration all the circumstances. I'm not happy that these players are walking away for low prices like that. Nobody is. But the fact of the matter is we've got ourselves into a situation that we need to get ourselves back out. And sometimes you've got to take the pain with. Now that will take, and that's what's happening now. The players that we've got are going. It's a fact. And that's because of the fair play. We've no choice in the matter. We can't really didn't want to be here. Hadji seems to not want to be here, then I want to be here, then I don't want to be here, then I want to be here again. It's but he needs to go as well. All the other ones like Roof and all that, they all had to go. All the big earners have to go. Too little on the park. If we'd have got the Champions League for the last 2-3 years, won the league for the last 2 or 3 years, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But we didn't. So that's why they're going. They failed. They failed the club. They failed the supporters. They didn't bring the success that should have brought it. I mean, some of these players are talented players, but they didn't produce it, and we didn't win leagues, and we didn't get to Champions Leagues. It's a fact, mate. So they can't greet and moan that they're away. If they'd had success, they wouldn't have been away. But anyway, we're here because, as you say, circumstances, and that circumstance, the big driving circumstance at the moment is the fair play. And it needs that's the one thing it really needs. I know we want a team, but that's the one thing it needs to be sorted out. Now, once we sort that out, we can go and build a team.
Just before we start talking about the game on Sunday, can I ask you, all the players you listed and have left the club, is there any of them you would keep or kept, or you would have kept, or you want to keep? Because none of them stick out to me, mate.
No, none of them, mate. None of them. And I mean, you'd have looked at them all different, mate, if you'd have won the leagues and you've done well in the Champions League or the Europa League, if you dropped back into that, it's you'd have looked at all the players differently. But they didn't, and that's why they're going, mate. And now I'm looking, and as you say, did I think we should keep 1, 2, maybe 3 of them? No, not at all. Not even one, mate. I can't even think of one that I went, it's a shame, we should have kept him. Not one. Not one.
Well, I don't see the fire sale then, mate. Do you?
I think they're talking about fire sales that they're getting away. They're getting away for the club cheap. Well, Clement said that as soon as he walked in the door. He could not believe there was 8 players there out of contract. He just couldn't believe it. What happened there? So that's the fire sale right there. It's the fact that they all got out of contract and they were here too long as well. They're at their ages. They were finished basically. We've got ourselves into this situation, mate. It was silly. And the people are all shouting for the manager to be sacked. That's why we got ourselves into this situation. Keep bringing managers in and no backing them properly, and then buying crap, and then adding to it the next time, get into him and then start again and do the whole thing over again. It took a bit of stability, a bit of somebody with a bit of know-how and a pair of balls to turn around and say, we need to stop this. This is stopping. It's stopping now, and we're going to clean this up. Bennett said, and we've all gret and moaned and shouted and bawled. We need to get this team. We need to get this squad. We need to get the background, the staff and behind the scenes. We need to do this. Well, it's done now, mate. It may not be completed either, but it's well on the way. So we're getting what we wanted. It's now time to back the team. It's now time to back this group of players. These young boys are coming in. They had nothing to do with anything, mate. Your Cifuentes, your Barons, your Diamandis, all these players, Potter, these type players, Jeffy, the boy Chef, I call him Chevy. Chevy.
That's because you need new teeth, mate.
These boys had nothing to do with this. I mean, they're here to prove themselves and try and make develop their career and have a good career. So it was time to get behind them. It's just time to get behind the team, mate. It really is. But we're going up there on Sunday. We're going to talk about it, I suppose.
Can I cut across you, mate? Can I cut across you?
Yeah, no bother, mate.
Breaking news. Scott Wright has agreed to join Birmingham City from Rangers in a move worth around 300,000. He will depart Ibrox subject to a medical and paperwork. Straight from Sky Sports, Scotland Sky, mate. So we've got him after wage bill and maybe £300,000 in the coffers, mate, for a fringe player who was in and out, played very little games and offered very little. Yeah, he's got ability, don't deny that, yeah?
I had the ability, but never wanted to show on the park. He's, I mean, you look at it, I don't know, when you look at that boy and you know that disappointed, you're not disappointed at all, mate, that he's away. And that's, if he was a player at all, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to see him going. That's a cut price. That's a fire sale there. 300,000. I'm glad we get 300,000 because I didn't think you were going to get anything for him either.
Right. So there you go. Yeah. So there's more wages freed up. Yeah.
You think we got a sell-on clause in that contract signing?
They can give you all the sell-on clauses you want, mate. You're not making more money after that.
It might be a compensation clause in there. Anyway, so he's away. That's another one off the books. All right, he wasn't on great money. I know all that, but he's now somebody that's made way. Now you're all on about the boys and all that. He's made room. If you wanted to bring a boy now, there's a space there you can bring him into.
Right. All right. So another one going that I think he would have been on Albert's list back at the end of last season. Am I right?
Oh, I was on it. Definitely on it, mate. Definitely, no doubt about that. He was on it. I don't hate the guy or anything like that.
No,
he's not a bad character, mate. He just wasn't good enough. It's as simple as I'm sorry he wasn't good enough, but he wasn't good enough.
You might have to do the show for you after 9 o'clock, mate. I might be too emotional.
I can well understand. Posters not that getting taken down.
Yes, life will never be the same again, Albert.
No, I'll not be. I've got no hair, so I'm jealous of his hair.
Yeah, well, nobody will go to Cherny the way we were going to him, will we? But yeah.
Journey's in our camp. Excuse me.
Jealousy is a terrible thing, mate, isn't it?
It's raw jealousy, mate. It's right out there for all to see.
What I'll say is, you just to come, mate, people look at that picture of Rangers lining up in Seville and they'll go, people of a certain generation will go, Scott Wright. Scott Wright. Yeah.
20-year time, by the way, you got people going, who's that one now? Who is he? And you'll get as if you're still on the planet. You go, oh, I remember him. Oh, no fondly either.
Mm-hmm. I suppose he scored a goal in a cup final, scored a goal in a semi-final. Didn't do much more, mate. And I'll actually look at his stats while we're chatting, but I think it's a positive, mate. It frees up a bit of wages, and I agree with you, it's no massive earner. But it was time, mate. It was just time. In fact, it was time for the boy for his career.
Exactly. Yeah? Exactly, mate. I think he actually, I might be wrong on this, but I think he played in 5 cup finals. It's something crazy like that he played in. It's, but there you go. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? He's one of the players that we were going through bad patches and we were getting the injuries, and he was always there and available to play. So that's a plus for him, I suppose. You can't argue about that. Most of the time he was fit and ready to play.
You'd be surprised, mate. He spent a bit of time on the treatment table himself, mate. He only actually started 41 games for us. Yeah,
I think that was lack of ability rather than anything else, mate.
25 league games and a total of 12 goals, mate. Yeah, and he's going to be, he was 27 a couple of weeks ago, so he's at the peak of his career, mate. It was time, mate. It was time. We had a punt and the workout. I've no problem with that. And I've said that quite a lot on the show. I understood the signing. And when you look at Conor Barron, I think they should occasionally dip more often into the Scottish market, yeah.
Aye, it's right. It's right. As I say, we're not snobs. It's teams will no deal with us. That's the problem.
Aye. There is that, mate. There is that. You know, so, end of an era. Scott Wright's gone. I don't know what to say.
Who are we going to pick on now? That's what they'll be saying. Who are they going to pick on now? Sorry, mate.
Your list must be near enough 100% complete.
No, still something to go. But aye, near enough, mate. Near enough. Not quite, but near enough. It's no rocket science. Everybody's seen what had to happen. Anybody with any football knew what had to happen, and it's happening. I was actually panicking when your Lundstrom and all that, when he was swithering. I think he actually went to the board to ask to keep him. But thank God somebody up there went, no, not a chance, not a chance. So Jack as well, not a chance. I like Jack. But
his time was up. Time was up.
Time was up, mate. That's it. Just your time's up, your time's up.
So you've got a forward player who was involved in 117 matches, mate. Yeah? 12 goals.
It's no good, is it?
No.
No, it's no good.
12 goals. And I really can't mind them making too many either chances.
No. He's not a dangerous player. He's cut out a cross at the UEFA Cup final as well. He didn't do that. Tav didn't do that. Goldson didn't do that. So there you go. Now that mistake or inability to cut that cross out could have cost you that cup final.
Aye, and then we go to the latest cup final when they gave the ball away when they did them in the last few minutes.
Oh, depressing. It's depressing.
Anyway, we'll look back fondly, yeah?
Okay, we'll look back fondly. Oh. That voodoo doll I made, I can get put away now.
Aye. Come and join us. Give us your thoughts. As that's 0141 356 1972. We've not heard anything official from the club, but that was took for Sky Sports Scotland. Yeah.
Yep.
And Mr. Fox is still standing by his scoop the last night. So there you go, Albert.
Oh, he's 36 hours scoop.
I might got the hours right, he says.
He's 36 hours. He's better do it quicker than that because we're into 25, 26.
He's never been good at counting, mate.
Well, count his wages. That's what the most important thing. Count the wages. Get them right.
Yeah. Aye. So things are starting to move. That's Ben Davis away and Scott Wright. These are people that the majority of the support, not saying the football people, the majority support were saying, look, they're no good enough over there. So we're going to this game at their place on Sunday with potentially a totally different group of players than we've had for the last few years.
Aye, it's a fact. It's a fact, mate. But these players that are away, they've all had their shot. They all know what it's about, and they've all failed, miserably failed. So the new players, I hope everybody gives these young boys a chance here. I really do. It's not right. It's just not right. Think of what they've got to put up. You know, they're going up there. I'm not saying they're ill prepared, but they're going up there to an environment that at best is absolutely toxic, mate. It's just toxic. It's just sheer and utter hatred. So we'll see. I think these boys have got the bottle to go and not let it bother them. Hopefully, but we'll see. We'll see on Sunday.
Here's a stat for you, mate. Scott Wright involved against them 11 times. One stat, 10 substitute appearances.
Well, there you go. He never scored against them, did he?
I don't think so. Can't remember, mate. I don't think so. No.
No. That's not a surprise, is it? Not a surprise. I don't you need to set a chance up against them. That'd be a difficult one to look at. I remember the volley he scored at Ibrox. That wasn't against them, right? I can't remember who it was against. Scored a good goal at Ibrox up at the Rangers end.
He was prolific against Dundee, scored 2 against them, 2 against Hearts. Peter Hamden against Hearts, yeah.
There you go, aye. Yeah. Scored in the cup final, eh? That is his claim to fame, isn't it? That goal in the Scottish Cup
final. Good goal.
That was a good goal. Was it the Scottish Cup final? League Cup final?
Just after Seville, wasn't it?
Oh, aye. It was, against Hearts. Big Suter had a good game that game, remember that?
I did. What are you making, Suter? I think the last 3 games he's been all right, Albert.
I might be wrong in this, but I think he's been coached better now. I think they've took him aside and pointed out his frailties and his weaknesses, and he's starting to work on it. But he's definitely played better in the last 3 games, no doubt about that. He might now just be under again with Golston away and Lundstrom away in the mouths in the team all starting to drift away. It might give him his voice now. It might bring him out his shelf and take the responsibility that we all hope that he's going to take us forward and be a Rangers player. So you know yourself, there's certain people in dressing rooms can subdue other players. So it might be that. But he's there's a couple of weaknesses he's got. One is getting caught under the ball. That's a big problem he's got. But I never seen that in the last 3 games. I don't know. I don't remember seeing it in the last 3 games. So the coaching might have something to do with that. But he's definitely playing better.
Would you, if you were a kid and you were touchdown and were getting under the ball, if you'd a boy at say 14 and was doing that, and it's not unusual to do it at 14, would you say he's gone prematurely? Because he's gone too early then, isn't he?
He's just, he is,
Yeah.
mate. He's losing the flight of the thing. That's
Aye,
what's
so
happening.
what,
He's
what
just
you
losing
have
the
to do
flight.
there, what you have to do when it's in there is take that half step backwards, mate, before you move.
Aye.
Yeah,
It's,
and that
it's,
just give you that. Just it's all split second timing, but that just gives you that bit, mate. That's
Yep.
basic coaching, and obviously you can't always do that in a game of football. When I say that, it might not be a physical half step back, but you might have to do a mental half step back. But that's something you can work on, mate. Yeah, and to be fair, with him being an internationalist, we shouldn't have to be working on things like that, should we?
no, it's when he's moving forward is the problem, mate. When he's running towards the ball, he's running too far and getting right underneath it. That's the
Aye.
problem. You sit and say to yourself, I remember, I don't know if this is true, but I remember Big Katic had problems, the same sort of problem. He couldn't time the ball right in the air. And I think it was Goff that gave him a few tips, worked with him for a wee while. Different player, mate. Absolutely different player after that. He was very commanding in there. And also scored a goal up at the Chamber of Secrets, you know what I mean? So aye, it can be done, mate. That can be coached. I keep saying that you can't put in what God left out, but these type of things can be coached. It's like Yefty when he's playing positional left back. Me personally, I don't think the boy's a left back anyway. But anyway, but you can coach that. You can coach that positional play, mate. That's not a difficulty. You can't put in talent if it's not there. But that's the thing you can't put in.
No, you can put in a positional play, but you can't make him faster, and that boy's fast enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can make him run faster for longer, but you can't really make somebody quicker if the raw tools are there, mate. Yeah.
Oh, you've got to have the basics all in place, mate. You can something to work with. So, and I think the boy, Yefty's actually got it. He's got the talent. You can see it. He's not got the experience, but he's definitely got the talent.
All right. Listen, I've got to say this, mate. I've been sent it by somebody, and I'll read it out exactly. I've checked the archive. Sunday is the 5th game. Get him tell Ox. Signed Big Stevie. So there you go. The tap place on Sunday, according to Big Stevie, a bottle of Tequila Rose is coming forthwith from Mr. Southside. But to be fair, he'll be able to pay for it if he's winning this week's Super 6, Albert.
Oh, he's Super 6 is romping home this week. Romping home.
I didn't even realise he'd 5 out of 6 up. I spoke
last week near the day. He never said to me.
No,
is that we had 5 out of 6?
He'd a sweat on. For a few minutes. And then it went Pete Tong.
Oh dear. Difficult thing to do, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest. It's a difficult thing to do, but there you go. He's trying. He's trying his hardest. He's listening in. I know he's listening in.
Aye, he'll get there. You know.
Lying there with 2 sausage rolls, I know that.
Aye, we'll get there. Right, so another move at the club. I think it's about time we got a couple of bodies in, but obviously we just don't want anybody.
No, we don't. We need a centre half. We need a midfielder, and we need a forward. I say centre forward, but it seems to be wingers are looking at the moment. But that's what, in my opinion, that's what we need. We might need more. Other people might see it different. So I'm expecting 2 or 3 players in. That's what. But I don't want to run about panic buying, but forget that nonsense. If you can't truly get the players that you want, well, leave it. Just leave it. It's just not going to work out. Just buying any old player just for the sake of signing a player. That's not what you want to do. According to the media, that everybody we're going for would never get. No, I mean they're very trustworthy, these people.
You don't think there's any agendas there, Albert?
Well, I wouldn't think so. Don't think they're that type of people, are they? They've proved in the past their record over the piece is to suggest they're very, very honest people. You can put your mortgage money on them to tell the truth.
Why is your nose getting bigger, Albert?
A wee bit. I'm going to pole vault out of this living room.
I'm glad it's your nose, mate.
Well, I'm no comment. It's a family programme. I'm no comment on that.
Right, okay. For those just joining us, do you want to? I'll let you break your news, mate. Yeah.
What's that?
It looks as if Scott Wright's away.
I knew that's a good point. It looks like he's away. we know what happened last year with him.
Aye. Well, we've nothing yet for the club, but we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see what it takes us. Right, we're building up with a tune, mate. Slowly building up with a tune. Have you any preferences you're looking for in the tune department this evening?
I'll tell you what I don't want. And that Southside's been saying I don't want that Ibroxonia. I can't go that. I just don't like that. Too depressing me.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's got a bit of character, mate. Yeah, it was superb at Birmingham.
It's not my cup of tea.
That's because you don't know the words.
Oh, well, it's because I don't want to know the words. I can hear what they're singing. It's too downbeat for me. I like the upbeat ones. In other words, I like the marching tunes.
Onwards, Christian soldiers, yeah.
Aye, that sort of thing, aye. All done with flutes.
We have an anchor.
It's. I'm not going to say it because I know a lot of people do like that song, but it's not for me.
It's not for your opinion, mate. Yeah,
that's it.
I wonder if Fox will play it out of spite. He wouldn't do that. He's not that kind of guy, is he?
No, he's not that type. No, nice man, very nice man. He's very considerate as well. We see, I put something else coming on, isn't it?
Right, okay. Well, the tune's coming up shortly, and then come and join us. It's a phone-in show. We need you for this to work. Yeah. It's a long time, 2 hours just to all better.
Aye, it's we need a wee bit of injection of subjects to talk about. We'll get in there and get us going. I agree or disagree, it does not matter. Just come in.
Obviously, usually we've been caught up with just the game on Sunday, but there's that much going on off the pitch, mate, with the transfer window, ins and outs, potentially anything else that's coming. We're getting dragged all over the place a bit, aren't we?
Aye, there's that many things, isn't there? Good thing, tidying up, mate. The good thing is Ibrox is heading in the right direction, so we should be in there shortly. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And then the transfer windows get the rest of the day and tomorrow, and then that'll be out the way. So that's a good thing. Then we can actually concentrate on this game on Sunday. Get that done and dusted, get a victory there, move on, hopefully. And then you're all set up. Nick, he's got 2 weeks to work with the ones that are staying in that stupid international break that nobody's really interested in.
No.
So, aye, good.
All right. Get yourself a mute, mate. We're going to have a tune.
Follow Glasgow Rangers. Follow all the way. 55 times the Kings of Scotland, the most in football's history. We've got the battle fever on until the day is done. The spirit of Bulstruth will carry on. We've got the battle fever on until the day is done. The spirit of Bulstruth will carry on. Follow Glasgow Rangers. Follow all the way. 55 times the Kings of Scotland, the most in football's history. We've got the battle fever on until the day is done. the spirit of Bulstrode will carry on. We've got the battle fever on until the day is done. The spirit of Bulstrode will carry on.
Okay, let's see all your flags. There's a wee spot in Europe. It's a place of great fame. It lies to the northland, and Ulster's its name. It is only 6 counties, but all walking down, and its anthem is the redland. Draw back the Queen's crown. Now the Germans gave over in the year 41, and they tried to destroy us by bomb and by gun. Our history would tell of all those who tried, how it serves defended Ulster. They fought or they died. Now if a baby should stick to in his own little town and speak of our friendship like Henry was, just move to the red. Top line the Queen's crown. Say we're side by side with Scotland. They won't let us down. So come brothers and sisters, let us all stand as one and drink to our Ulster, her heroes and sons. And while we are toasting to names we must join, that of William, Prince of Orange, the best of the boys, and that of William, Prince of Orange, and the best of the boys.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
And that wee ditty at the end there was for all the new listeners who see me pick up this week, Albert.
That's more like it. That's a bit better. Aye, that's for them. You're out there. We all know you're listening. Aye, so back on it again. One thing I want to mention, mate, I forgot to mention.
Can I get it off your chest, Albert? I'll come back in half an hour, all right?
Right.
On you go.
The ref watch, mate, the officials. Definitely talking about the officials.
Mr. Beaton.
Mr. Beaton, the cheating. Not just him, the other ones. I mean, the last 4 games last season, they were involved in every one of them. And a lot of, let's say, controversial decisions getting made. Not just the obvious ones that get proved were wrong. Other ones like McGregor running about and continuing to do the professional fouls. The 2 fullbacks of theirs doing continually professional fouls. And nothing happens. They're not getting booked. They're not getting spoke to. Nothing happens. All we're looking for is a bit of fairness here. A bit of just referee the game properly, man. Please just referee the game properly. But we've not had that. I say, and I'll say it again, the last year we lost the league. We lost the league because we had a mini collapse at the beginning and at the end. But let's be truthful. They 4 Old Firm games, the decisions in the 4 Old Firm games made a big difference, mate. A big difference. To where that league went, because they were in all sorts of difficulty. They were playing crap, but also all of a sudden the referee decisions all start going after Rogers puts a letter and the referee decisions all start going their way again. It's ridiculous, mate. It's border on cheating. It really is. It needs to get stamped out. It needs to get sorted. So that's my big concern for Sunday, mate. Big concern. Let's see if the officials just stay out of the game, let the game play out.
Well, I believe we've had 5 goals chopped off in 8 games against them, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I believe
check.
I think it's a long time since they had a red card at Parkhead. A long time, mate.
Against us
Against us, mate.
or against anybody?
Well, I don't sure. I think they might have one sent off in the last 40 years. So that's a conspiracy in there. They'll say, you know what I mean? But they don't get very many people spent. They don't get many people sent off. They don't get very many penalties against them at Parkhead. So I think people start talking about that. They were talking about Rangers for long enough. They never got a penalty against them. They never Ibrox, blah blah blah. All of a sudden, bang, they got a penalty, which turned out to not be a penalty. So these referees are listening, by the way, and they're acting on these so-called rumours and so-called unfairness that everybody keeps shouting about Rangers. So it's time they started doing it right, mate, because at the end of the day, they get the referee decisions near enough all the time, mate. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Mistakes can be made, that's fair enough. The one with Johnson, one on the ball, and Colin, that was just cheating and lying, mate. There's no other words for it. It's just cheating and lying. It's you've got to call it out the way you see it. And that was it. It's proven, not just the Rangers supporters, it's proven all over the place. Everybody was saying it.
Yeah, how was he rewarded, mate?
Oh, he get promoted to be chief donkey. You know what I mean? So he's in charge of all the donkeys now. So that's what you get. No, there's 2 ways to look at that, because Rangers put a letter in saying they didn't want him to referee any more of the games. So in actual fact, Rangers win the case, I suppose, because he's not going to referee any more Rangers games. So for that point of view, it worked. But you don't. They were saving face rather than just say, right, you're staying away from professional football in Scotland. No. They've got to save face, so they promote him to get him away from football, because he was lying and cheating, mate. He get caught barefaced lies and just cheating, mate. And he get caught rotten, mate. And they couldn't handle it. They couldn't hide it anymore. They couldn't say, "Oh, that didn't happen," because the whole European football was looking at that and went, "That's wrong. That's just wrong." If that was, say South America or any of these other leagues, you'd be calling it a Mickey Mouse league and you'd be calling it all sorts. But up here, it seems to be, it's okay, it's fine, it's only Rangers, don't worry about it. Well, you need to worry about it, because if you can't, these referees can't, if they're intimidated up there and they feel intimidated, they've got to come out and say it. They've got to do something about it. They can't just let it keep going on like this, mate, because it's not right.
Yeah, when you think back to the goals, there were, I think they were all VAR decisions, and they're all contentious. The one in the cup final, all right, he touches him, how hard, I don't know, it's up for debate. The Ruth goal, the first game of the season, last season.
Not foul.
Don't know what he's meant to have done there. The one that was scored in the 3-each draw that got pulled back about half an hour. I actually think it was a foul, mate. I've got to be honest with you, but it got pulled back for about half an hour, which you don't see about the third phase of play. Yeah. I've not seen that happen before or since. What else I'm trying to think? If you think back to the Alfie goal, get chopped off.
Exactly. He's getting fouled. He's getting fouled.
So it goes on and on.
But see these games, right? See these decisions. These are 30-40 million pound decisions, mate. This is what's happening. They're winning leagues through these decisions. Let's not kid ourselves on. All right, they've won a few leagues, they've cantered it, and they've probably won it fair and square. But there is leagues there like last year, and maybe the year before, that you're sitting going, well, without these decisions they're getting, would it have been closer, or would you actually win the league? Who knows? We're not going to know now. All I'm saying is, it seems to fall their way too much, too often, mate. It can't be right. You're sitting going, it's not right. But anyway, it's just my view on it. They'll see it differently, of course, because they're always persecuted. They're always the victims, aren't they? They're always cheated, never defeated.
Aye. Right, come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Come on, right away. Ask Albert anything about anything.
That's it. Ain't about anything.
Have you thought about your team for Sunday, Albert?
Here we go. Not really, mate. I can sort of rhyme off about probably 6 of them that you say, aye, probably they'll play. But Butland, he's starting, isn't he? That's just a given. And then we get to Tavernier, the contention with Tavernier. Me personally, I wouldn't play Tavernier, but that's they will play. And then you've got Suter, who will play. Balogun or Proper. Let's see now. Me, I'd prefer Balogun in there at the moment. Give Proper time to get his feet. But again, the boy is supposed to have something about him, so he might just play him. I think he'll play Yefty at left back. Midfield will be Diamondi, Barron. Now here we go. I think Chevney. Is it Chevney? Is on the right wing. Dessers will be in the centre forward, and the left wing will be Matondo if he's still here. Now we get back to Lawrence. Does he play? Does he no play? Do you play Sterling and that make it a 3, or do you play Lawrence? I would play Sterling. Personally, I would play Sterling and leave Lawrence on the bench, because I don't think Lawrence is, especially early doors in that game, he's not got the legs for it. He might be an impact player later on, right, for the last maybe 15, 20 minutes if the game's still alive at that time. But he might come on and do something then, but no starting again, mate. No starting again. That's roughly my team.
If you've got the guys on the park and you look at the left side of the pitch, we potentially Diamondi sitting there with, or Sterling sitting there with Diamondi supporting if he's going to be playing the number 10 role. If you play it the 4-2-3-1, which he doesn't deviate much for, in Matondo and Yefty, you've got all that pace there that we've never had. You know, the right side, I'm going to say Tierney's quick, but you'll get Barron there covered. When you mentioned Barron earlier on, it'd be his attitude. If you watch him make the runs he makes to cover people, not to be involved in the play, who cover people who go forward, he's superb at it, mate. He's a real team player. You know?
He is, mate. He is. He reads the game well, doesn't he? You know, he sees what it needs to be covered, and he just gets on with it.
Yeah. They're more mobile than we've had for a long time in there. No offence to Scotty Arfield or maybe Ryan Jack, who I've enjoyed their Rangers career when they were on the pitch. And John Lundstrom, who, listen, let's be honest, he gave us one of our greatest nights ever. But however, if you take these performances at their place and his lack of mobility, and it used to get shown up there, didn't it? Yeah,
It did.
A good game once against them at Hampden in the semi-final. I thought he was excellent, and then the game at Ibrox, the 2-each draw, he was arguably man of the match went off, and the game turned. But the rest of the game, sometimes he was anonymous, mate.
Most of the times he's towing a caravan, isn't he? He's just the games are that game in particular. It's just too quick for certain players. He's one. Lawrence is one. Dowell's one. Too quick. The game's too quick for them. It's just it's all over by the time they catch their second win. You know what I mean? It's so you've got to take it into consideration. Yeah, I think they're bad players. Well, I don't think they're all bad players. No, I don't. I think Lawrence is actually quite a good player, to be honest with you. But it's horses for courses, man. It's as simple as that. You can use players. You can give players a big advantage and a big help in playing them at the right time, at the right park, or in the right game. No, I mean it's just one of these things. But at the moment, if we got the luxury of doing that, we get players that can come in and do the job that you actually want them to do. Well, that's debatable at the moment. It's debatable at the moment. And by the way, we're going to sign players, so it might be some of them want to come in as well.
Aye. It used to happen regularly, didn't it? People would make their debut in all firm games appear and play, but modern football, it doesn't seem to happen, does it? You have to get your dry cleaning soap to do it in your duvet and all that for your new house before you play a game of football. You know?
Aye. You're right, mate. You're right. Make sure your cimet's are washed and ironed before you it's one of those things, no. But aye, so that's my team. What about your team? What do you think?
Very, very similar, mate. The Proper's fit. I think he starts, mate. I think we've signed him to play him. He's 31 years of age. You know, I think he's going to go in there and play, and we'll see what we've got. And that's if he's fit. Yeah, we don't even know if Balogun will be fit, mate. You know. And so Suter, I think, will start on the right. Tav will start. And I would play a 3, mate. I maybe play it as his 4-2-3-1, and I would have Diamandi, and I would give him the license and tell him he gives everything for maybe 60, 70 minutes, mate.
Yep.
And then that's when you replace him, yeah, because he's got all energy. Is he a number 10? I don't know if he is. But if you've got Barron and Sterling in there, there's no lot. They'll go with their runners, and if we don't make mistakes, we can get something for this game, mate. That's what we have to cut out them. And I'm not talking about a split second. That we've made some glaring errors, haven't we? That's cost us as well.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. It's early goals. It's not just goal, it's goals. Cut all that nonsense. Be up for the game right for the beginning. This conversation we've had a lot over the last few years about when we've switched on to the first whistle and all that carry on. And it's time again, it doesn't work. Time and time, it's the same players that were half asleep and letting you down. And Tav is a big problem in that situation, you know what I mean? So keep into the game, keep focused, keep into the game. And with you, if we do our jobs properly, there's nothing to say we can't get a result out of this game. There's nothing to say it. But if you switch off, it's going to be the same outcome as it's been before. So don't switch off. The cup final proved a point to me, mate. It proved that you can compete with them. There's nothing to fear with them. You can compete with them, and you can keep them quiet because they're so-called brilliant midfield. We had 2 in there against their 3, and they kept them quiet, mate. No bother, they kept them quiet. That was Raskin and Diomande. And if a few mistakes don't get made, Scott Wright being one of them, Raskin being another one, we should have brought him down. And Jack Butland save, which was a good save, but it was the second save that annoyed me. You know the first one. The first one, it was good because they both swerved, but it's the second save that annoyed me. So if they 3 mistakes, cut them types of mistakes out. Yeah, give me a shout, mate.
Yeah,
Big Dessers hit.
If Scott Wright controls the ball, none of it happens, mate.
Aye, exactly, mate. None of that happens. And Big Dessers is starting to hit a bit of form. Good to see. Not my favourite player, but a good to see. And you got to give him credit. He's scoring some nice goals now.
So I'll give you. So my front 3 would be Dessers, and I think you're going to play Cherny. Is it the ideal game for him? No, what I've seen, but in a big pitch, he might come to the fore, mate. Yeah, so we don't know. And I think on form, I think the case at Southside put forward last night for Matondo starting him. Would have started him 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I would, but he's maybe earned the right. And if you're not allowing players to earn the right, what is the point of playing well all day?
Well, that's that. I mean, Matondo just needs to be told. He might be away, mate. We don't know. He might be here, he might be away. But if he's here and he's getting into the game and he's getting a start, he needs to be told, mate. This is the games now, son, that you need to show up. We can't have you playing well against St Johnstone and Ross County and no showing up tomorrow, or Sunday, sorry. You need to show up. And he needs to tell it and lay it on the line to him. Now, if you can't show up in these games, you're no good to us. It's all right just running about there. And he had a good game against Ross County. And I know people are saying, oh, it's Ross County and all that. Ross County beat us last year, mate. So there's no just over that. Oh, yeah, they might be slightly weak, which is true. But we did score 6 goals, mate. And that, you can't take that away. And we Matondo had a good game, as did Dessers. Both of them had good games. But now, to prove a point and ram a point home, I'm expecting them to do it against them. The excuses, just get it done. Because you know there's football in there. You can do it. Dessers can score, and Matondo can go by players as if they're not there, mate. He really can. We know he can. And he can take a goal. So there's nothing to stop him. I want him to turn up. In fact, you just saying day two, you want the whole team to turn up, let's be honest, the whole squad to turn up. That's what I'm looking for on Sunday. I look for it every game we play them. Every game we play, actually, whether it's them or anybody else for that matter. As I say, it's a young team. It's a young team we've got, mate. And they're starting to gel together. Are they there yet? Not quite.
No.
But I'm still expecting them to go up there and do well.
Aye, and you can play well and not win a game of football, mate, and we'll dissect it differently. You can go there and people can freeze, and we've seen it before, real good players. We've also got a lot wrong, but we went there before with a team on fancy, we've got a result, so look, you know this game, mate, can go anyway. But before I bring in with that, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Are you with us? Are you still with us?
Aye, I'm still with you, mate.
All right, good, mate, good. I know that's a bonus.
I'm here to the end, mate.
Right to the end, mate, yeah?
Aye. It's, so going back to Sunday, it's, I mean, you know the score, I know the score, all the Rangers supporters know the score, what's going to happen up there. They're going to charge about like maniacs and try and kill this game early doors. There's a day every game, not just your game, the day every game. So you need to be on your guard for that. Yeah. And if you're caught and surprised, by the way, you're in it. It's as simple as that, because we all know what they're going to do. The manager knows what he's going to do. The players that have played in the game know what they're going to do. So everybody should be well aware and ready and prepared for this. So, and if you nullify that, anything can happen, mate. Anything.
Aye. Listen, it's a game it can go. I think Souness said today it's a game it can go anyway. You know, when Healy's team and they were with all the so-called English superstars, we used to beat them every time, but we didn't. Yeah. You know?
Yep.
You know, it's a game, but it was a different majority of people on the pitch were Scottish then. That's not the same for each side, you know? And they're going to have pretty much the same team as the cup final, by their goalkeeper, maybe the guy that's replacing the guy that went during the week. So are they going to be any stronger? I don't think so, mate. So we've got a different team with different players. We don't know how good some of these players are going to be, but they've got a chance to grow up Sunday, mate.
Oh, definitely, mate. They've got a chance to put a marker down for the rest of the Rangers' careers. But if it doesn't work out for them, I'm not holding that against them. So I'm giving them a free hit on this one, the Rangers boys. So just get on, mate. I want to win. Of course we do. We all want to win. But I know what they're going up against. I know they're inexperienced, some of them. But again, I like their attitude. I do like their attitude. And it's down to the referee to be fair and be fair-minded on this, mate. So, aye. That's what I think. I definitely think we can get a victory, get a result, I know. Definitely, mate.
Anyway,
Good evening.
We'll be John Boer, Carl. Evening, Carl.
Evening, Ox. I've got a question, just a wee quick phone call. I've a question for one of you geniuses. Only one you need to answer it. I mean, you don't need two, you answer it. I'm sure you'll get it. When is the registration time? The last time we can register a player?
11 o'clock tomorrow night, mate. So window shuts.
No, the window shuts, but when can you register them? Is it Saturday morning?
Oh. I don't know what they'll do with the registrations, mate, whether that'll be...
But I know down in England, it's at 12 o'clock if they play on Saturday to register. With one of the players last week in England got a transfer and they registered him Friday so he could play on the Saturday, but it had to be done by 12 o'clock.
But the window was still open then. The window shuts at 11 in the morning night, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense, Albert?
Aye. I'm not quite sure what the registration time is, but I think it is 11 o'clock. I think you're right. Or the paperwork, Carol's got to be done.
Not that it makes any difference, you know. Because he's not going to play anybody he signs. I can't see that ever happening. if we sign anybody, that is. And I'm not too bothered. If we sign in, we'll just go to don't sign anybody, we'll just go to muddle through as best we can, and we'll get there. If they stick together as a team.
Can I ask you a question, Cal? Can I ask you a question? You being the third genius on here tonight.
Because I'm the only one that's here. Right, okay.
Is there anybody that's left the club or proposed or been talked about leaving the club that you're disappointed with?
I don't know yet. I'm still on the fence with Hadji, because I liked Hadji as a player. But last year he didn't get a chance to come back in with Beale, you know, to prove himself. So I don't know if Clamont's made a decision on him, seeing him training and that, because he was away for his wedding. I think that's a board decision because of the pay. But if he's going away, it doesn't bother me. Once they're away, I have no interest in any player once they're out of Rangers.
Aye, so out all the players, maybe the 15 that we're maybe talking about on all Bears list, yeah, maybe there's one you've got a pang for, the rest you couldn't, you're saying, aye, I would get rid of them. Yeah?
Most of them, I think just about the only one is Hadji. A wee bit. Other ones don't interest me. Once, as I say, once they're gone, they're gone. Lundstrom had no time for her through it. Cantwell, I never had any time for. He was a prancing pony, and that's all he was. He was Todd Cadwell's show.
Aye, so that's what I mean. Look, that's the exits. The recruitment, I understand all there that people maybe get reservations and maybe for a shorter bodies, and you'll argue about the quality. We don't know what these guys are going to be like. Yeah, it's not like in the old days when you signed people that you knew about them. The transfer market's changed. I mean, I knew nothing about Diamondi, nothing about Jeffrey, nothing about Cherney. Yeah, I knew about Connor Barron. Yeah.
Yep. Aye, it's the market we are dealing with, mate. Let's be honest about it. It's just the way of the nature of the beast at the moment. The gone are the days that we can sign household names and all that. It's the Premiership's told to any of that nonsense, mate. You can't get anywhere near it. Bang average players are going for 20 million down there. It's ridiculous. And 30 million bang average players. That's just the stupidity which is the Premier League, which is driving the whole of football into the ground as far as I can see, mate. But there you go. I hope that what we're doing now is comes to fruition and we carry on with this and you hit these players. But again, the whole of football outside the Premiership are trying the same models. They're all trying to do the same thing, mate. They're all trying to get players, win things for a couple of years with them, develop them and sell them into that mental Premier League and get the big bucks for them. Every club, there's no a club out there that's not trying this. So there you go. And every club outside the Premiership is the exact same. They've got to sell a player before they can buy players. That's a fact, mate. There's not a club out there that doesn't have to do that. Every club needs to do that. So Rangers get lambasted all through this window, but that's all we need to get somebody out before we can buy somebody. Every club's like that, mate. Every single club's like that, without exception. Outside that Premiership, but they're the ones with all the money. They're the ones with the hundreds of millions of pounds. The $5 billion 3-year deal that go, which is going up to $7 billion, I believe, after this one expires. I mean, so you're actually farting against the wind, mate. There's just no chance of it if it carries on like this. As a competitive point of view, and for other supporters of every other club outside the Premiership get value for money, which they're not, because the Premiership's killing it, totally killing any of that. But again, loyalty for other clubs and other supporters are all going to their games, hoping to see a bit of football, hoping to see a bit of quality. As soon as the quality emerges, woof, they're off to the Premiership going. You don't even get them for any length of time. So that's just the way it is, mate. But anyway, we've just got to do what we've got to do to survive in your own league and to survive as a club. You've got to buy and sell players. That's just the way it is, mate. That's where all the money is, buying and selling players.
Right. Cal?
I agree with that. I don't like the Premier League. I think it stinks to high heaven. And I don't like the pundits. I don't like any, actually.
It's killing football, Carol, isn't it? It's just killing
it's killing football. Or see, I can't watch Sky on a Sunday. See, it's an early game for an English team or whenever Saturday. All these ones on before, talking for an hour before the game starts about things it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. And during it, what they're thinking and what they had to eat for their breakfast and oh God in heaven, just it drives me up the wall.
You know the game's in trouble. Sorry, you know the game's in trouble, Ox, when in the Champions League are changing their format. UEFA's changing their format. You know what that's about? They're trying to compete with the Premier League, mate. And this is what it's all about. They're trying. Stop the Super League, because the Super League, let's be honest with you, the Super League's just going to be as bad as the Champions League.
Champions League.
And the Champions League's just going to be the exact same as well, mate. It's just all to rip people off. It's it's going to pay for this. Everybody's saying, well, that, it's going to be great. It's not going to be great. It's going to cost you a fortune. For watching games that you're not really interested in, you're not got a dog in a fight. You're not that. I don't be used, but I'm not that interested in. I don't care who wins outside the Rangers. I just don't care. So they're trying to get you pay. It's all just about all greedy businessmen and greedy investors trying to get as much money out of the game as possible. But it's definitely not the ordinary supporters. They're the ones that are getting ripped off every time.
Well, I mean, we do a bit of ourselves with the jerseys, didn't we? You know.
That's it, mate. You've no choice, but at the end of the day, you only talk to Southside today about this. I mean, I keep saying it. You only can shear a sheep so many times a year. But Bisgrove, when he was here, he was overshearing us, by the way. He was definitely overshearing us. And you only can do it so much. Now you've got to say that the supporters themselves will turn around and say, hold on a minute, we can't spend any more. We've spent as much as we can spend. So it's down to new investment, or get to the Premiership, or not the Premiership, get to the Champions League, things like that. That's the only revenue. And even that's got a ceiling, mate. It's just they're all kidding themselves away and thinking they're going to get these riches and move on to something brilliant. It's got a ceiling, mate. It's all got a ceiling. That's why they've got the fair play thing in, because if it wasn't the Arabs and the Americans, they just take over everything, mate. Because they've got, especially the Arabs, got unlimited funds, mate. It's just so it's not a sport anymore. It's just who's got the biggest budget, who's got the biggest. They just buy in anybody they want, how many they want. So it kills competition per se. It just kills it stone dead.
I mean, we digress quickly and we'll come back quickly. But I can't understand the Chelsea model, mate, with all the players they've signed. And they can't register them all. I don't get it.
Well, at that time they could. They had that model going for years, mate, way before the fair play. And their model was they buy on their players, and that was a revenue stream they created all by themselves, by developing their boys. And everybody thinks that they were doing it to sell them at top dollar to the top clubs. They weren't. They were actually scattergunning it for the middle of the table teams in the next division down, and probably Europe as well. And they made a fortune, mate. They made an absolute fortune selling these players on. No chance of ever playing for Chelsea, but they knew that your teams down in the lower, the bottom half of the Premiership or the Championship, Germany, France, some teams in Spain, it wouldn't be the too big, but some teams in Spain would snap these players up, and that's the way it transpired, mate. And each time they're making millions out of these players.
Their new model, mate, what they've done, all these players have signed, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is they've no skill. They've brought in loads of reasonably big names, maybe, and they can't play them all. I don't get it, mate. But anyway, that's just me. But,
well, could I come in, Ox? They might be big names. It's not the really big names. It's just to come in for big money. But it's half of them I've never heard of. Well, that doesn't say much right enough, you know.
I get it, mate. I understand what you're saying. If you don't follow, I mean, I don't follow a lot of European football, but you know that if somebody's maybe, I don't know, cutting up in Germany and they've brought them over, etc., and they've got a bit of pedigree, but they've got that many with that bit of pedigree, it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand what they're trying to achieve, because I don't know where the business model is, but...
Tax evasion?
Well, there you are. The English, they call it the English Premier League. What's the percentage of Englishmen that play in the English Premiership? Does anybody know that?
I would say about 5.
I would say that at the weekend there, they said that, I don't know if it was in their team or their squad, that Wolves didn't have an Englishman.
Exactly.
That was not an Englishman in the team. That's right enough. I heard that.
So it's not English, it's English Premier. That's just a name. It's a false name, actually. It's trading under a false description, by the way. Because I would rate, I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't even say it was 50-50, mate. I think it's better going on the foreigners. So it's 60, 70, 80% foreigners than Englishmen.
And we're not far behind up in Scotland when you look at it.
Exactly.
No,
I don't know.
I know, mate. I know. Cal, how do you think it's going to go on Sunday? What's your thoughts, mate? And are you gutted that Scott Wright's leaving?
Oh, God in heaven. I was wanting my autograph my comb, you know.
I don't own a comb.
But if you've no hair, you don't need one, okay? But you should
That's
always
true.
have one in your pocket in case your mate needs one.
Oh no, you can autograph my chamois.
Your chamois. What colour was your hair when you had it? No, your last one, your first sort of ones, you know.
Well, it depends. It depends my mood, mate.
Oh, but you're sort of David Bowie.
Aye. Depends my mood, mate. Black, I had black hair.
Oh, well. You're not really Scottish, you know. I've been black hair.
Aye.
Right, I better go before my missus is throwing daggers at me now. The next will be throwing darts. Right.
Cal.
Well, what I think on Sunday?
Aye.
You want the honest truth?
Aye.
A draw, but we've had a goal disallowed and a penalty no given to us. There you are.
That wouldn't be unusual, would it?
No, really, that's how I say it. Right, you are. Have a nice evening. I might talk to you some more if you don't get any phone calls, because I was sitting saying to her, you know, I said, I better phone up, because nobody's phoning them. I felt sorry for you.
Well, thanks very much, mate. We're not getting
It's all right.
We're not getting sympathy callers all the time. Each other.
It's
Right.
not looking good, is it?
Right, good night.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
What drinks happening Sunday yourself?
Listen, mate, I think the longer we keep it tight, our chances of winning the game increase, and that's what we've not done there. Yeah, and I'm not saying we should go and set up to defend. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, the best form of defence is attack, mate, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't think Clement's, but if people don't make the mistakes and, you know, some of the errors we've had, gave the ball away, people know the quick throw-ins, the Lundstrom goal, sorry, the one with the runner, was that was the last game last year, wasn't it, when the second goal, you think of some of the mistakes we've made. You know, it's been, if you think back even the year previous, the one with Davis and then the one with Suter, the pass back, you know, these are glaring errors, mate. You know, we just cut out the errors, keep the ball, pass the ball, and go forward properly. And there's nothing to fear. They've got the same team they had in the cup final weekend. Why are we fearing them? Because the players we didn't like have left the club. I don't get it. There's so many jigsaws. No, I'm not saying these guys we've got are the finished article. We don't know how good they are. But everybody that we didn't want here is gone. So I don't understand where some of the negativity is coming from. Let's get behind the team. Now, in a few weeks' time, things might look different. Both ways all better. But at the moment, we'll see where we are.
Exactly. How many players that have left played in the cup final last year?
No many, mate, because most of them are unfit. Even Lundstrom was a sub, wasn't he?
That's what I'm saying. So you're not going into the game with any of the players that you had last year in that cup. You've actually added, in my opinion, a bit of quality to the team that we had last year, getting in that cup final. So it's one of the ones.
If the team is close to what we said, yeah, I think the team in the cup final, starting team in the cup final was Butland, Tavernier, Barisic, yeah, was it? Or Redvan? Redvan started the cup final, didn't he? Red Van, and it was Davis and Balogun that played. And they had no bad games, actually, in the cup final, yeah. Because Suter had got injured, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Midfield was Raskin and Diamondi. Cantwell playing at number 10, yeah. And then Dessers, who did we start with on the right? I'm trying to think. Well, Sterling was on the right. And who was on the left? Who was on the left in the cup final?
McCausland.
No, started with Silver, mate.
Oh, I saw we did, didn't I?
Yeah. And then Seema come on, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So the team has evolved greatly since that game. And is there any of the players that's no playing that you wanted to keep? You know?
So it's Cantwell, Silver, and Davis. They're the three that played last time the cup final are away, and you didn't really want to keep any of them.
Aye. So what is it? Are these players all of a sudden we shouldn't get rid of them? Yeah.
That's it, mate. That's it. It's definitely. I mean, the only one you've got in there is Cantwell that you turn and say, I mean, the boy's a player. There's no getting away from it. But as I said before, he's a Maverick. He plays for himself, mate. You can't have him in a team. You want to build a proper team. And by the way, the way you've got to build these teams now is it's got to play as a team. It really has to play as a team. You can't afford Mavericks anymore. Those days are all gone, mate. The way the speed of the game and the amount of games you're playing now, they all need to play as a team. And I'm talking about the squad now. When the changes are coming in and out all over the place, and the 5 subs are made during games, they've got to operate as a team. So Cantwell and players like Cantwell, they're a throwback to probably the 80s, 90s, mate. Or since time started, you always had Mavericks all through the games. But the players are very far and few between them, mate.
He also, he came in, I thought his career started well, mate. And I thought, all right, we've got something here. But as time's gone on, he became less and less effective, mate. Yeah.
That's it, mate. And don't get me wrong, I think like you, I think the boy was a player. He's talented, there's no doubt about that. Same as Lowry, the boy's talented. But they're luxury players. You can't afford them. In the modern game, you can't afford them. People would argue you never could afford these kind of players, but they always had their place in football. But modern game, they don't.
Aye. And obviously, there's a lot of talk in the media about the amount of Cantwell's transfer fee or alleged transfer fee, right? What we'll know is the details of the dealings that went on. We may slightly owe him about £3 million in wages. He might be writing that off to get that at the other end in his new contract. So, in theory, we've took X in, which was never enough, but we've also we've saved £3 million in wages. That's how I would be dealing with it if I was his agent, Albert. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. He'll be trying to go to whatever club he goes to and get the same amount of wages, or even better, if he can. But he's not going to get it. As simple as that. There's nobody going to pay him what we pay him. No chance. It's not happening, mate. It's definitely not happening. But again, we allegedly get 600,000. I don't know what Rangers are asking for. I mean, it's the papers again. You never know. The mainstream media gibbering, talking noise. It's not. I mean, £30 million players and 600,000 franchises. It's all nonsense, mate. It's just I don't believe any of it. So you sit there and say to yourself, he's away. It's again fair play. Had to get off the wage bill. He's no good enough. He didn't want to play for us. You can say all the things you want to say, but the fact of the matter is, he had to go. As Hadji has to go. In my opinion, Hadji's actually finished. Even at this young age, the boy's finished. I don't see the boy coming back. He never had pace before he got the injury, and he's even got less pace now that he's back for his injury. He's got skill, no doubt about that. Again, he's the sort of player you can't afford to have in your team. You need to carry him for large parts of games, and that's not going to happen. So he has to go because he's on a big wage as well. So full victim of mismanagement, probably from your point of view, over the years, because of the fair play. That's just mismanagement on our part. But that's the way it is. That's the way we try to rectify bringing players in and good wages. it probably wouldn't have signed for us unless they had good wages. But now you look at it and went, it's the wrong way to go. It's definitely the wrong way to go. But we're rectifying it, mate. We're rectifying it. We're mistakes. That's a fact.
Here's a bit of stats for you all there to cheer you up. Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you're a man of integrity and you're always looking for fairness, right? Just a reminder that it's now 5,056 days since Rangers last got a penalty at Celtic Park. Yeah. Since 2000, Celtic have had 10 penalties at Ibrox since 2000, the last 23 old firms. Rangers have won, I think that says. In the last 23 old firm fixtures at their place, Rangers 10 red cards, Celtic none. You were asking, yeah?
Yep.
And Rangers had 5 goals disallowed in the last 8 meetings. Even I'm starting to believe there's some kind of conspiracy, and I'm not that type of fella.
Yeah, there you are, man. It stinks. It totally stinks. And these are all these decisions, by the way, are, as I said before, these are 10, 20, 30 million pound games we're talking about here, mate. That's the difference between getting to the win a league, getting a Champions League, and no getting it. And it always falls in their favour. Strange, isn't it? It's absolutely strange. And they've got the referees terrified of them, absolutely terrified of them. See to get a decision. Look at all the penalties the Rangers get now, no matter what game it is. If they get a penalty, it always goes to. It's usually VAR. It gives it. The referee doesn't get right out. It's VAR. They'll not give you a penalty. It just goes to VAR. And then they get you. Oh right, it was a penalty. Better give that penalty. They don't want to involve. They don't want to be seen to be involved. They don't want to see. I don't want to be seen. I'm giving Rangers an advantage here, by giving them a penalty or calling a right decision. Colin proved the point nicely, mate. He proved it beyond a doubt. He get caught cheating and lying. And then he's looking at you and say, you've done it that many times, mate. You think nobody's going to say anything now. It got that bad it had to be called out, mate. And that's what's happening. And if we don't call it out the now and say something that's going to happen on Sunday again, controversial decision, go their way. VAR decision, go their way. I mean, see the roof goal under Beale. That was ridiculous. That was never a foul on that boy. Never, ever a foul on that. But that big clown Sutton was shouting right away, that's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul, shouting and bawling, that's a foul. It's never a foul. And then when the referee got asked about it, Tavernier eventually gets out to ask him, and he went, it was really close. It was just really close. It's supposed to be obvious. It's supposed to be obvious. It's not supposed to be close. Why is VAR shouting you to go and have a look at that? It was never, ever a thing it should have went to VAR. Ever. But it did. And they got a goal chopped off. A perfectly good goal chopped off. Again. But there you go. But we mean, you know, the haters, we're listening in and getting it. I listen to them. They're always getting cheated. Well, fact of the matter is, the proof is in the pudding. There's the stats. It's just been read to you. Bad. It's bad, mate. It really is bad. But it's not just bad. It's financially ruining our club if we don't get this sorted and get it called out. The referees need to come out. They really need to come out, mate, and say. I know I'm not saying in public, but they need to say to the governing body, we're getting intimidated here. Every time this team plays, we're getting intimidated. This is no right. Our families are getting intimidated. Our houses, our properties getting destroyed. Remember all that carry on? Windies getting put in and all that nonsense. Private detectives. Remember that? Private detectives getting put on the tails of referees.
I think the private detectives on the referee on Sunday as well, didn't they?
There you go, mate. All this nonsense. You look at it and go, it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's a fact. You've got to take it into consideration, mate, whether you like it or not. You can dismiss it and throw it out.
You've missed one big thing, mate.
What's that?
Referee strike.
Aye, the referee strike. There you are. That was the start of it, mate. That really was the start of it. And you're sitting saying, terrified. They're terrified. And all that referee did was try to explain something to Lennon, and he just came out and blurted it out. The guy was actually telling him in confidence, but he just blurted it out. and made it into something that really wasn't. It wasn't meant to be like that. But he blurted it out because he seen the opportunity there to discredit the referee and discredit the linesman and bring the whole game into disrepute. That's what he's seen, an opportunity to do it, and he took it. And from then to today, it's their way or no way. But the other ones that are benefit every season, mate. Every season they benefit through this, and they get into the Champions League. No bother, they win the league and get into the Champions League. They win the league, get into the Champions League, and we sit back and wonder what's happening. Even if you're getting close to them, it gets stamped out quickly, mate. Not just by them, by the officials. It's not right, mate. It's got to be called out. Oh, we're asking for the referees to be fair. Call it the way you see it. Oh, that's fine. And you will make mistakes. There's no getting away for that. You will make genuine mistakes. Well, you're only human. We understand that. But these are no mistakes, mate. I don't care what you say. That Fulham one was not a mistake, mate. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that was a penalty, mate. He didn't have to go to VAR. He knew that was a penalty. Anyway, it's done and dusted now, but you've got to call it out. They'd have called it out. If all these things happened to them, do you think they'd have sat in silence? Do you think they would have sat there and went, oh, well, look at the one with Ukraine. Do you think for a minute they would have let that one go? They'd have been still going on. They'll be going on that. If that had happened to them, they'd be going on that for 30 years, mate. They'd have kept that going. I've been listening to some of these Celtic fans for 30 years, going on about what happened to them 30 years ago. Remember Big McNeil? This has been happening to us for 50 years. Remember that, carry on? For 50 years, this has been happening to us.
I don't know who was talking about what was happening at their club for 50 years.
I know. I didn't want to tell you what was happening for 50 years. But anyway, that's my rant over me. But I still say we should call it out. I'm calling it out now. Watch it for Sunday. Watch what's happening on Sunday.
Yeah, read the message. Read the message if you can, mate. Right. So we've got roughly the same team, and obviously Southside's on tomorrow night. I'd be interested to see if he's playing Sterling and where he's playing him. Yeah.
Yep. Aye, would you play Sterling?
Aye, without a doubt. I think bizarrely, listen, I get some of Southside stuff. He's not the most cultured player you've ever seen in the world. I understand that, but that pace and power is such an asset, mate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
He's strong, and he's a willing worker. He's switched on. I mean, he's whether he's a midfielder, I don't know. I know Southside doesn't like him in the midfield. He thinks he's a midfielder. I understand all that, and I'd probably like him to see him at right back myself, to see what the boys go at. But the way things are at the moment, the way the squad is at the moment, I think he would do a right good job in particular games. This one in particular in that midfield.
Mm-hmm. I'd play him in midfield in this game, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play Lawrence for the start. I would just don't see the point to that. I don't see the point to it at all, because we know what's going to happen. The game's going to whiz by him. And then you're sitting going, well, we knew it was going to whiz by him. So you go to ask yourself, why are you playing him then? It's when something happens that you predict before it happens, and then ask yourself, why did I do that for? I think Clement will do that himself if he plays him, and it does whiz by him, which it will. It will whiz by him. But I like Lawrence, as I say, but he might be effective in the last 15, 20 minutes of a game. This particular game especially.
Aye. We'll see where it goes. Listen, I mean, you've got to play it as you see as the manager, and you're trying to win the game. You're not trying to win the first 15 minutes, mate. You're trying to win the game.
That's it. If you keep, I've said before, if you keep in the game, especially at the beginning of the game, but if you keep in the game, you've every chance. It's this, don't let it slip out your grass early doors, where you know that as you're 1-2 behind, and it's here we go again. Don't get me wrong, we've got them 2 goals at the start of the games, they've still been hanging on at the end. So if we do that this time, we've only ourselves to blame. So let us get a 2-goal lead and let them chase us for a wee while.
And that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Oh, aye, definitely, mate. And then with the pace you're up 2-0, and you go, if you press too hard, we'll catch you again. Let's see if they can handle that. Because we've had to handle it for, I don't know, many games we've gave them 2 goals at the start.
Yeah, and even you think back to the last game at their place in the league, mate, Silver misses a sitter when it's nothing each, didn't he?
Yep. Should have scored.
Aye.
Absolutely should have scored, mate. No doubt about it. There's been a few chances we should have scored and didn't score. But you can't say we didn't create the chance. We did create the chance, but at the end of the day, we didn't put it away. So that's for ourselves. We've only got ourselves to blame for the ones.
Aye.
It's
Correct. Mate. Correct. Well, mate, we're getting near the end of the evening, yeah.
Yep. Did you enjoy that?
It was good talking to you, mate. It was good talking to you, yeah.
Yeah. Good talking to somebody else as well. Where are you all?
Aye.
We know you're out there.
Aye, we know that, mate. We know that. Plenty. Some people get plenty to write, yeah. Some people get
Oh,
plenty.
right, aye.
Yeah. But well, it's a big week. It's always a big week when we play them. It's not a defining week because it's so early in the season, but it's a big week, and it changes your perception maybe for the next 6 weeks, depending on the result. That's always the case, mate. Eh?
Yep. Hey, I mean, you get the result, it's great. Absolutely great. Sets you up lovely. Gives the team confidence. If you don't get the result, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We've got something to look forward to for the rest of the season. By the way, you've got a young team, a young, exciting team with some really good players in there. And we don't know who we're going to sign, if anybody, what would they say? You're looking forward to seeing them as well. But so far, so good, mate. I know people don't see it that way. I know people think I'm talking a lot of nonsense. I see improvements, but I genuinely do see improvements. I really do. Is that enough?
As I said
No,
earlier,
it's
I
not.
don't know. I don't know how good Proper is. I don't know how good Yefty's going to be. I don't know how good Cherny will be in that atmosphere. I don't know. They might thrive. They might not. Yeah. We'll not still be able to judge them, but they're that early into their Rangers career. I know that what we've seen so far, and because of what he is, Yogi's 100% Baron. The game could still pass him by because it's happened to superstars, never mind Connor Barron. But he might know, he might take the game by the horns and be man of the match. I don't know. But we've got positives. We might know positives on Monday when we're discussing it. And we might be saying, right, okay, we should have got X, Y, and Z in. I get all that. But at this moment in time, I don't know how good these boys are.
That's it, mate. That's it. They might. I don't say they might. I'm confident enough they're going to pleasantly surprise you. They're going to be competitive.
Right, hope you're right. Last word for your good self, Albert.
Well, enjoyed being on with you, mate. Talking away, all things Rangers. Great. Better if we get callers. I know. Thanks for Carol writing off. He phoned in, but it's a big game coming up. Big decisions to be made the rest of tomorrow for transfers. Let's hope we get some players in that we require. But anyway, onward and upward. Looking forward to the game.
Yeah. Thanks to Cal for joining us. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Of course, I want to know Albert for doing the show. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away. Old School Blue.